Hello friends, welcome to Learn Easy. Today in this session we will discuss decision making under uncertainty. Condition of uncertainty exists when the future environment is unpredictable and everything is in a state of flux. Most significant decisions made in today's complex environment are formulated under state of uncertainty. Decision makers are not aware of available alternatives and risk associated with each and consequences of all alternatives or their probabilities. Decision making under uncertainty refers to the process through which individuals or managers make choices in situations where the outcomes of these choices are not fully predictable. Several approaches assist in navigating these uncertainties. Bayes' decision rule, Markov processes, gaming, modeling, etc. are some of the important approaches for decision making under uncertainty. Effective decision making under uncertainty requires the integration of judgment and analytical techniques, as no single method can capture all variables involved. Approaches for decision making under uncertainty. Bayes' decision rule. This is a decision making strategy in which one chooses the option with the largest expected payoff. This is determined by multiplying the consequences of each act by the probability of the several occurrences and then adding the products together. There is a set of options from which the decision maker may choose, as well as a set of consequences that may occur because of a given decision. Bayes' decision rule assumes that there is an underlying probability distribution that can be used to quantify the decision maker's beliefs about the relationship between the various choices and resultant consequences. This approach involves a utility function that quantifies the decision maker's preferences among the various consequences. Markov processes. These are stochastic processes in which the probability of future events are completely determined by the current state of process. For example, if one knows the current state of the process, no additional insight can be gained from the previous state of process. A Markov chain is a random process comprising discrete events in which the future development of each event is either independent of past events or dependent only on the immediately preceding event. Markov chains are often used in marketing. For example, to model subsequent purchases of products, that is the probability of the customer making a purchase from a particular business or brand is dependent only on his last purchase of that brand. Gaming. Gaming is an activity in which two or more independent parties attempt to achieve objectives within a limiting context. In business, gaming involves the use of mathematics in determining optimal strategies and making the best possible decisions in context. Gaming, however, is a controversial approach to decision making and is typically more art than science. However, it is possible to gain insights into a real-world situation by designing, playing, or analyzing a game. Game design is a multi-stage process. One sets the objectives of the game and defines the parameters in which the game will be played. Once these constraints are articulated, a conceptual model is developed and decisions are made as to how best to represent it. The game is then constructed and defined. As opposed to other methods for making decisions under conditions of uncertainty, gaming is not a solution method, nor does it lead to a forecast, solution, or prediction. However, a game does help the decision maker to better understand the situation about which a decision needs to be made, including its constraints, consequences, and greater ramifications. Ultimately, effective decision making under uncertainty requires the integration of judgment and analytical techniques, as no single method can capture all variables involved. Stakeholders may have conflicting interests, complicating the process further and necessitating compromises. Understanding this dynamic can help decision makers better navigate the complexities of uncertainty in various contexts. That's all for today. Thank you.